Okay, guys, I'd like to thank you guys for coming to hang out with me tonight. What I'm basically going to be going over with you is what I call the money tree method revealed. How to turn your passion or hobby into a $140,000 per month multiple streams of income producing business the simple way. And the reason that we're getting ready to go through this is because, as you may know, back at the very end of October, I started a new business called Maximum Leverage, and from scratch, completely from scratch. And in that time, since October of 2009 up till today, that business has grown month after month after month, now to the point where it alone is about $140,000 per month. So what I want to reveal to you guys is some of the philosophy, some of the foundational principles, and some of the things that are very important to do if you want to create that sort of a business yourself. And the reason that I'm going through this is because, again, first off, a lot of people have a lot of confusion on which way to go, what to do, and all that sort of stuff. So I want to alleviate that confusion. I want to show you the roadmap that we followed. And I also want to prove, I'm the type of person that's always, I got to show. So I'm going to show you everything as we go through here, through our outline tonight, that, it really doesn't take a tremendously long period of time to grow a pretty profitable and large business if you're following a simple plan, if you understand the steps that need to be taken. So as you guys can see here, we have our outline. We're going to talk about the money tree method. I'm going to talk to you about case study, history of Maximum Leverage itself, my online history. Then I'm going to talk a little bit about why people fail. We're going to get into some foundational marketing principles for success, how to create your own money tree. We're going to talk about the basic skill sets that you must have on the technical side, or outsource or have someone else have as a skill set that's working with you to make all this go. And then we're going to talk about some of the key points, things like creating your own product, creating your own sales letter or video. And then we're going to talk about some of my favorite stuff, conversions, profitability, upsells, and I'm going to get very, very scientific and give you some metrics, as you can see there. Then we're going to talk about driving sales daily, driving sales monthly, and turning that original little seedling of a business into a multiple income stream creating business, a money tree. Like a tree, we have a strong root system, we have a trunk that grows up, and we have the leaves, all the branches and all the leaves. And I want you to think about all the leaves in your business as individual income streams or places where you're generating revenue from. And most people get all this stuff backwards. We're going to get into that in a minute. But I want you guys to focus on one thing here. We start out with how to turn your passion or hobby into a $140,000 per month business. Passion or hobby. Why must it be a passion or hobby? It's an important question that we need to make sure that we answer. And so here's the skinny, guys. Here's the deal. Most people don't think with a future mindset. In other words, all they really think about is they think about, how can I make money today? And in order for you to grow a business, you have to be driven to create something that's long term. Otherwise, all you're doing is scheming out there pretty much. And so you got to start with something you love. And as an example, Maximum Leverage, that's direct response marketing. That's, if I want to just talk about the subject matter, that's what it is. I love it. I spend a ton of money getting better at it, buying everyone's training. Why? Because that creates speed. If someone's done it before, great. Let me just leapfrog and figure out what you've done so I don't have to do it. And it's just what I fill my head with on a daily basis, what I love to do online. When I ask myself, can I see myself doing this 5 years down the road? The answer is absolutely yes. If I ask myself 20 years down the road, again, the answer is absolutely yes again. So you must start with something that's a passion or a hobby of yours that you can see yourself working in, mastering, having fun at. Every day I get up, I'm excited. I was at Starbucks earlier today, and the guy that works behind the counter came over and he said, are you working, or are you working hard or barely working? And I was like, well, it's fun. So, like, I mean, I guess I'm working, but I don't even consider it work. It's just walking the path, living the adventure, going down the journey, just having fun, learning at every angle. So that's the emotional energy. That's the strength. That's what drives you forward. That's what creates your money tree. If you don't have that in a specific form, in a specific place, in a specific niche, something that you love, I believe it's going to be very hard for you to create a business. Most people try to do this backwards, and we'll talk about that in just a second. So let's go through some case study here. Now, as I said to you, Maximum Leverage as a business began, and let me check something real quick, guys. I just want to make sure we're good to go on our recording. Yeah, we're strong. Maximum Leverage began as a business back in October of 2009. And so what I want to do is I want to go back here and show you some of those statistics. This page doesn't really matter. Let's see if we can get back here to Alexa. As you can see here, this is Alexa. It's kind of hard to see on this graph, but you can see the last quarter of 2010 is really where Maximum Leverage began as a business. And you can see that what Alexa, first off, is, guys, if you've never been to this website, is it ranks all the websites on the internet in order of how much traffic they get. So if your website's ranked number 1, you get more traffic than anyone else. And in that same vein, if you're number 2, then only number 1 gets more traffic than you. And you can see right now, Maximum Leverage gets about, it's 16,123 ranked in the entire world. So out of all the websites in the entire world, this little website called Maximum Leverage, which was built on a hobby, a passion, energy, excitement, gets seen more than only 16,000 more and 122, if I want to do it that way, websites in the world get seen more than it. And this website was started just at the very end of October. It doesn't take long to build a big business. Here in the U.S., this business was in terms of traffic, Maximum Leverage gets about 3,000. It's the 3,355th most trafficked website in the U.S., which is pretty meteoric and pretty exciting to me. And so, again, these are things that you can do fast if you have the right sort of game plan to push you forward. Now, what I did for a little bit of fun here was just to kind of show you guys a couple of the other big websites, big people in the same niche that I work within. And let's see, the yellow line is magnetic sponsoring by my good friend Mike Dillard. You can see that website's gotten traffic for a long time. The red line here is Online MLM Secrets, my good friend and one student, Jonathan Budd, his website. And you can see all these sites kind of had a gradual growth in terms of traffic, whereas Maximum Leverage was just poof, one day turn it on and we're in the game. How do you do that? That's what we're going to talk about today. So the other element of speed that I want to show you here is if I go here to, this is another statistic-based website you should get familiar with. This is a website called Quantcast, and it only shows you the traffic in the U.S. So what we're looking at is traffic inside of the U.S. right now. And I'm showing you my Maximum Leverage business. This is the dark blue line here in terms of traffic compared to my prior business. It was called Recruit Like Crazy, which was started back in October of 2007. And if you look at the peaks here, it took me about a year to get to that top peak, to get about 100,000 visitors in the U.S. alone per month to the Recruit Like Crazy funnel. Whereas over here, for Maximum Leverage, it was like, oh, let's get started. From October to January, poof, right up there at 100,000 visitors per month. So, in the U.S., again, speed. Putting the right knowledge, having the right game plan, following the right path sets you up for fast success. You don't have to, I mean, we have this thing in the working world where we think, okay, if I keep working and I do a good job, then in 5 years I might get a raise and I might get a promotion. The internet and your own direct response marketing business built on your passion in no way, shape, or form mimics that. You can have success quickly. You don't have to get a promotion. You don't have to wait. You just do the right things. So let me go back here and check to see where we all are on our outline. October we launched. January, as I just showed you, 100,000 U.S. visitors to the site. I showed you the Alexa ranking compared to other industry leaders. I showed you the Quantcast stats compared to Recruit Like Crazy. And just as another statistic, in other words, my last business, which I created, took about 66%, well, maximum leverage as a business grew 66% faster than my prior business. Why? Because I'd learned this stuff before, and it's built on passion. Okay, passion is so important. So, February of 2010 was our first 2K plus lead day. We'll actually go in and look at the autoresponder stats. And April of 2010 was our first 140,000 plus month for this new business. So let me go in and show you those. This is inside of my shopping cart. This is for the month of April. And if I scroll down here, you can see we did about $177,748.81. Now, this is not totally accurate because there are declines and things in here. So it all rounded out with affiliate checks and things like that, the multiple streams of income that come in to the mail to about $140,000. Pretty darn cool to start something 7 months ago and get it to that point where it's, you know, way more than $1 million plus per year business. And so I hope that's got you guys excited there. So let me go back. I'm kind of jumping around in terms of time. And let me show you guys right here inside of my autoresponder. You can see today's a pretty good lead day. Yesterday was just actually it's a very low lead day in the grand scheme of how everything goes for me. But we bumped right back up today with 1,124 leads so far. And the day isn't even over yet. But that's not what I wanted to show you. I kind of wanted to show you our subscription stats. So I can take you back to that first 2K plus lead day. And this is the autoresponder we're working with then. And so once it finishes loading, I can go in and choose the right dates. We'll go back here to at least December. Now let's go to that day. We're going to go to web subscriptions, click show. And we're going to get a little graph that shows us all of our leads. You can see here, guys, that way back here in January, or actually, so 2K plus lead. We had an almost 2K lead day in December of last year, but then right around February, I think that's what I said on, February of 2010. We had our first 2K plus lead day, and you can see these numbers are off. It can't be 2K and then 2K again. 1K, 2K, 3K, 4K is really what this is. So actually, once we got into March, we had a 3,000 lead day. And you can see here, which is really interesting, if you take a look at it, once we get into April, we're not just getting a ton of leads, in big spikes sometimes. Our average was about 300-400 leads per day this whole time. But now we're really starting to rock, and we're getting a lot of days where those leads are over 1,000 leads every single day. This is what creating your own money tree is all about, creating a business based on passion, then going out and finding the people that are like you, that want to learn, that you can solve their problems, and then building just a community and giving a ton of value. And once you get there, you can start to create this sort of lead flow. Think about having a business right now, and 1,000 leads per day are coming into it, and, several $1,000s per day. You're making several $1,000s per day. I mean, let's look at the lowest day here. Not every day has been great in April. But if we look back here to lowest day maybe $2,400, $2,200, so that looks low. And then we have some high days, 33,000, 16, 17. Not bad, right? Now, of course, the numbers are a little bit different, like I said, because there's some declines, but the gist of it is not bad at all. So this is what I'm going to show you guys how to do in a very simplistic way as we go through today. I want to go back and talk to you guys because I know some people here are brand new and you haven't met me, and I want to share with you some of my history in terms of coming onto the internet. I'm going to go online. I'm going to show you a couple pages, a couple cool things if I can find them. And I want to emphasize here, I'm using my business as a case study. My passion is direct response marketing. If your passion was golf, if your passion was knitting, if your passion was, saltwater aquariums, you could still do the exact same thing. It's about taking your passion and turning it into valuable information and building a business based upon it. That's the way to create $1 million business online that's totally stable. It's an asset, and it builds and grows in equity over time. Actually, a lot faster and in a lot more flexible way than even if you like bought a bunch of houses and you got into the real estate game, because it's hard to sell a house once you have one, especially in today's market. But when you build one of these money tree style businesses, you can extract a check revenue anytime you want. I'd rather put my money there. If I'm going to, that's what's so funny to me, and then we'll get back and I'll go through this stuff pretty quickly, is people will think like things like real estate are fantastic, and real estate's cool. It's just not my favorite thing because I own some properties. But they'll think like real estate is such an amazing business. There's so much gold out there, and there is. It is a tremendous business. It's not one of my favorites. But this internet thing and information and your passion and just learning a little bit of marketing, and you create a business that literally has an infinite profit potential for yourself. It's a lot better. I'm sitting here in Maui. I'm sitting here in my home office in Maui. It's 2:20 p.m. Beautiful day. After we finish this training, I might go to the beach, get pummeled by some waves, maybe even see a couple whales out there. A couple days ago, we saw some whales. Couldn't do that if I was managing a bunch of real estate, right? But you can do that. We can each do that if we take our passion and turn it into a money tree using the internet. So let me give you guys a little bit of history about me. I started online back in March of 2004. And the reason that I got started, let me go over here to my Facebook page so you guys can kind of see me. And Facebook wasn't working perfectly for me earlier, but let's see if we can get it to pull up. Bada bing, bada boom. So if you guys don't know me, my name is Daegan Smith. We're going to go over here to my profile. And as I kind of walk you through some of my history, I'm going to be hanging out here in my profile. So here we go. We got Greg. He just joined up with the Maximum Leverage Inner Circle. Loving it. I love it. I love when people send me messages like this. But this is me. I used to wrestle in college. I wrestled in high school. I wrestled in grade school. And, that was a tough path. That was really hard. Cutting weight, going to practice twice a day, drilling moves, being hungry to win in front of everyone else. It's a lot harder than building an online business, I got to be honest. I mean, and I'm actually a little bit soft around the edges these days. I'm not as chiseled as I was back in those days. And well, the reason that I got started with my business in 2004 was because I was working a day job. I was actually a traveling sales rep in the Washington, D.C. area, not Maui at all. At that point, I never would have thought I could have got to Maui and hung out and gone to the beach every day and just enjoyed every day fully. But I had a job. I thought it was a pretty decent job as a traveling sales rep. And I just didn't like that corporate America feel. I looked 10 years down the road, and it wasn't what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. So I started looking. As you might guess, real estate was the first thing that I looked into. I bought an apartment building, bought a house, and not all of that has been fun, especially if you talk to my accountant. But after that, I found the internet. And the internet has been my passion. Direct response marketing online has really been my passion. And it's because of all this leverage, all this amazing, just the lifestyle changing capacity of it, that it really struck me. I mean, I'm a living example of what just learning these things can do for anyone's life. Anyone can be here in Maui hanging out with a little time, energy, and focus and the right game plan. Anyone can create their own money tree. And this was a vision I kind of had when I got started. And so at first, I wasn't that good. I failed miserably. The first thing I got involved with was pay-per-click marketing, PPC arbitrage, trying to just find different offers and see where I could make money, just basically throwing stuff at the wall to see if it stuck. And then walking down that path, I found network marketing, which was cool for me. Now, again, I want to step back and say, it doesn't matter your path. Like, if you love saltwater aquariums, what I'm sharing with you right now will work for saltwater aquarium enthusiasts. It absolutely will. I failed miserably because I lacked focus. Now, I got a little bit of focus when I chose the niche of network marketing in the home-based business industry. But even there, I failed just meteorically. I remember I got myself a new credit card and just to start my network marketing business, my little home-based business opportunity. and just started charging $500-$700 a month away on it, buying leads. 7 months later, $7,000 down the drain, not a dollar earned. So what I kind of learned from that experience was you really, really, really have to get out there and study yourself. One of the things that I think gets a lot of people mixed up is they think if they choose a certain mentor, like especially in the network marketing world, I want to join this upline because this guy's successful. Hence, if he's successful, I'll be successful. That's why I chose my mentor. What I found out, though, that led to success was you got to choose your path. Choose what you want to build, how you want to build it. And from there, if a great leader comes your way, so be it. That's only going to potentiate and make your path to success happen faster. But just choosing a mentor because they're successful alone and not taking the time to decide what it is you really want to do with full clarity, you're not really going to get anywhere. I mean, you may have a few successes, but you're not going to enjoy every day. You're not going to be doing what you love to do. And so that's what I had to step back and do. I had to step back and say to myself, I want to be successful. I said to myself, I want to be successful in this network marketing thing. So how can I do it the way that I want to do it? I hated calling leads and getting rejected. I wanted to do it online. So I had to learn direct response marketing and pick a business that fit the way that I wanted to build. I found that first business back in July of 2005. That business doesn't exist anymore. But in it, I grew a downline of about 8,500 people. At that point, I was making more in my business than I was at my day job. I was getting lots and lots of checks in the mail every single month. I could show you pictures of that. Let's see if I can pull up a couple pictures of that from one of my old sales pages. But yeah, every month this was the norm. Even to this day, this is the norm. More checks than there are days. I mean, any day that I don't see a check in the mailbox, it's a weird day for me. It's like, what's going on? Is the mailman stealing my checks or something? And this is possible for all of us, okay? So checks, I take pictures of them every single month, so I could show you 20 more, but just wanted to give you the visual to go with what we're going through here. So primary drivers of growth for me at that particular point was I learned lead generation. Going from buying leads in my home business niche to mastering the art of lead generation myself. I wasn't a master then, but handling it, being able to get leads every single day, just changed my business dramatically. And it doesn't matter what you do. If you're paying someone to get leads for you as opposed to getting them yourself, once you make that switch, it's going to be like night and day in your business too. So whatever it is, remember that getting good at getting leads is very foundational to your success. Also, primary drivers of growth was creating front-end leverage. So in this home business niche, right, we all of us who get involved there we fall in love with it because we're like, oh, I can't wait until I have a big downline and I'm going to be making big residual checks. Well, that's great, but no one focuses there on the leverage that matters. Getting leads, building an audience, giving value. These are the things where we can control leverage. The very front of our business, doesn't matter what it is, that's where you can create an immense unfair advantage for yourself no matter what the niche. If you have 1,000 leads and you send out an email that says, hey, I've got a great opportunity for you. I know you're a saltwater aquarium enthusiast just like me, and well, I wanted to do a special workshop here at my home, wherever it is, and I want to show you how we set up our saltwater aquariums live and in person. If you have a list of 1,000 people when you say that, you're going to have a response. And you just do one thing, send one email, right? Compare that to going up and going to your local aquarium and saying, hey, guy, do you like saltwater aquariums as much as I do? I'm going to show you how to set them up in my house. Who wants to do that? It doesn't. So the whole point here is the front end of your business is where you create immense leverage. And so I don't want you to ever forget that. Next, after I had gotten really good at generating leads and building downlines, I built other downlines, bigger, faster, all that sort of stuff. But it doesn't matter because it's not carnal to what we're going through here today. I created a solution to a problem that a lot of people in my industry had. A lot of people in our industry, they get involved with opportunities and then they say, hey, how do I recruit people? How do I recruit people? And I think that's a little bit backwards, and I'll explain to you what I mean by that in a little bit. And what they needed was a front end process in which they could generate revenue on the front end and pay for their lead generation right there without just buying leads and trying to use the income that they could get in their business opportunity to pay for those leads, which is extremely tough to do. And so I created a system called Power Prospecting System. This was actually the industry's first generic branded funded proposal system. And what it means is basically anyone could jump into that system, use it, sell the information products on the front end themselves, generate revenue, affiliate commissions, but every single component of the system looked like it was their own. So generic, meaning it doesn't say, hey, look at Daegan. Branded, meaning it says, hey, Joe Schmo is a guy sending the emails. Joe Schmo is a guy that has the opportunity to buy this particular product. John Smith, Joe Schmo's a little bit negative in connotation. And that was a great success. I believe that business got up to about $50,000 or $60,000 a month. I'd have to go back and look at it, but I don't remember right now. From there, I learned the skill of product proliferation. What you're going to find when we get into the money tree method here is that your profits in your business are driven by the back end. In other words, what a lot of people fail, especially even if they get into information marketing, what they fail to see is the money you make isn't just on that first purchase that someone could make with you. The real gold, the real pot of gold at the end of the rainbow is creating back-end opportunities, solutions specific to specific problems for your customer database that now knows you as a source of value. And so I created more and more products to solve specific problems. I'll give you a couple examples. I was talking to you about the power and leverage with email marketing, growing a list. I created a product called the Email MLM Formula, which is how to recruit at the push of a button using email, and a product called the Email MLM Swipe File. 100 of my best emails were used in recruiting and profiting in my specific niche. See how specific these solutions are? Now, I'm going to talk about this more later, but as we talk about this money tree method, to grow your back end, you don't try and answer bigger problems. You find smaller problems and answer them more completely. And if it doesn't make sense, don't worry about it. We'll get to it.